Hello, this is Huskins, your Forex mentor. This is a follow up to the trade plan related to the core US CPI. Since there were a lot of news releases at the same time, I decided to skip spike trading and concentrate on post spike trading. I actually wanted to trade the directional bias which would result from the news at 8:30, and the way I'd go about doing that is observe the 5-minute US dollar chart. So let's see what happens. This is the 5-minute US dollar chart, and as you can see that the market was actually ranging. We weren't making higher highs or lower lows at this time, and so it's a decent area to see what the market reaction to the news would be. And when news came out, it gave me a directional sell on the US dollar. So, based on this information, I am looking to buy the GBP USD. So, I'm pulling the GBP USD chart at the same time. You see that the GBP USD had not yet formed its directional news candle. Um, but the US dollar had. So the US dollar is telling us that it wants to weaken, and the strength has yet not been reflected in the pound US dollar. This means that the pound US dollar may need to just catch up with it, and it would be a very good place for me to actually buy the GBP USD. And that's what I did. I went long from 1.5513, and I placed my stops below these lows out here. And now target was a very important region. Where would I want to target? Should I target a high of 1.5546ish area? It will not meet my 1:1 risk reward, since I have now a stop loss of about 40 pips. So I needed to target um, at least at 1.5554 ish area is what I needed to target if I had to go 1:1. So let us see whether that was a possibility. So this is the GBP US dollar chart, and one of the good areas to target would be 1.5545, but it does not cut my risk reward. Another good area would also actually be the 1.5554ish area. Why? Because of this clutter. You can see this clutter, that would be the higher mark of that clutter. And also, it would be close enough for my 0.618 move of this entire downward move. Another thing which you need to keep in mind is that there are certain currencies which like to make double tops, and they such as the euro US dollar. Euro US dollar makes good double tops. The GBP US dollar almost rarely makes a good double top. The way it normally um, changes its trend, or changes the basic direction on the chart, is that it tries to go above uh, a, a previously held high, and it goes above it by about 10 pips, and then changes the direction. This is to get people who have their stops just above the high, get stopped out, create momentum into the market, and then follow along and go change the direction. I'll give you several instances. Look at this particular setup. We had a high here, and then the market wants to break that high before actually turning around. We have a low out here. The market actually decides to break that low before actually turning around, even though it was for a little bit. So uh, that is one thing which is very peculiar about the pound, which I find, and that's how I use that to my advantage. Now I do not, in normal circumstances, if I couldn't take risk I mean, a reward of just 35 pips when I had a risk of 40 pips, I might not have wanted to enter the market. But right now, I think it is plausible that the JPP USD would go up to 1.5554. Let's see what actually happened. So, almost immediately, the market took off, no looking back, and hit our number one target perspective. And now I'm out of one third of my position, and my stops move to break even. I have a riskless trade, and not yet stopped out. And as you can see, the market is just consolidating right now. At this time, it might be prudent to just close off all the entire position. You'd have about 23 pips more in on two-third of my position because I'm out with a 40 pip target on my number one position. So that's what I think would be a prudent idea to do now. The effects of the news have already been absorbed into the market, and there's nothing much more we can suck from this particular news event. I hope you enjoyed this review of my trade plan, and I'd appreciate if you like the video or click on like, or you all have comments. I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much.